Firstly, I want to start this video off by reading Seungkwan's message that he posted on Instagram in full. I don't want to see people hurting each other anymore. Watching everything that has happened so far, I kept my feelings in check, thinking that somehow it would all pass, and continue to work hard with the members as I always have. However, just watching these situations and hoping the fire will die down is no longer an option. I feel that I can no longer stay silent for all my colleagues who are working hard even at this moment, my fans, my members, my people who are getting hurt. This might seem like meddling to some and like a hasty post to others, but I am still mustering up courage. Being a celebrity is a job I chose, and while there are parts I must endure because I receive a lot of love, I don't think it is a job where I have to endure to the point of self-destruction, getting hurt until the brink of death. I just want to do my best and show responsibility for the given task, to repay the fans who love me, and to share the good energy I can give in various ways. So it is true that the burden, the pressure, and the physical and mental fatigue are indescribably immense. Even so, we must carry on at this moment. Some look at it rationally, some smile positively, and some, though it is difficult, adapt and somehow endure because we choose it and we have to endure it. But today, that reason feels particularly harsh and cruel. Just as some days are sunny and some are cloudy, today is very cloudy for me. I too have days when I try to overcome with positivity. I too have days when I try to smile no matter what. But today, that is not easy, and I feel sorry for those who are getting hurt at this moment. It also upsets me that I can't embrace them all. I wonder if my hasty and clumsy words can resonate with someone, if they can be comfort to anyone, including our members, the colleagues, and friends I know who are working hard. In the big industry of K-pop are people who genuinely love this work purely. Because they are so sincere, they also get hurt, and because they love so much, they sometimes feel empty, but still, they live each day giving and receiving love for themselves, their members, their family, and their fans. What I want to convey clearly is that we are not people who have been working so easily and smoothly that we can be judged lightly. We have experienced enough pain, fallen apart, and somehow overcome it, putting in tenacious effort to show our best on stage for our fans. I hope people don't take idols lightly. You don't have the right to easily intrude on our narrative, not just us, but other artists as well. We are not your commodities. I hope you don't think you can use and enjoy us as you please. All our physical energy is drained, even just from 1 week of music show promotions, despite also handling advertisements, events, performances, and other scheduled activities. Meanwhile, there are many colleagues these days who greet me warmly with a smile, even more than I do. Whenever that happens, I smile and greet them back. This is all I can do for them. When they greet me with a bright smile, that single moment is precious and grateful, and even a seemingly formal greeting followed by a single line of a colleague's message written in the album they give me provides me strength when I'm exhausted. I just hope everyone can work without getting hurt and stay healthy. I also like the challenge culture. Whether we are close or not, creating a challenge video together, dancing to each other's songs in a place other than the stage is beautiful when we are in the prime of our youth, creating even a small memory together. It's even better if fans enjoy watching it. Even if we don't know each other, I like that we can exchange a small word of encouragement to each other, saying "fighting" for promotions within the awkward and embarrassing atmosphere at the end of the shoot. Meeting with respect and being able to help even a little is meaningful and something to be thankful for. I need to make an effort first, but I hope we can all be a little warmer, supporting, loving. If we treat each other warmly, maybe things might get a little better. I really don't want to see anyone breaking down and eventually giving up. I sincerely hope we stop giving wounds we can't take responsibility for. I don't want to see my members, all my colleagues who are working hard right now, the staff who have sincerely worked for us, and our fans getting hurt anymore. To the fans who are loving us warmly, even at this moment, I want to say I'm sorry and I love you. Seungkwan's message comes after the release of HYBE label's internal documents, with them being exposed for their corrupt strategies of how they handled their own idols as well as rivalry groups and companies, the way they learn and feed into toxic K-pop fans' ways of thinking for profit, hating, shading, and pushing hate trains for their own idols as well as other groups and idols, sabotaging their own artists as well as exposing rivalry groups and idols' private information, and so much more. And just to make this clear to everyone, this is not just about HYBE labels. This is about corrupt K-pop companies, CEOs, this industry, and toxic fans. And while we may want to always talk about toxic fans and how horrible they are and blame it all on them, they're not where this starts, and they're also not fully the reason why all this keeps happening. This industry and these companies is where it starts. The only reason why so many toxic fans are openly disgusting and against idols having normal lives is because that's what these companies and this industry has normalized for idols. They not only started this ideal, but they also constantly feed into this type of behavior because they profit off of it. They're the ones who pushed and started this whole idea of what perfect idols must be. So while I definitely am constantly disgusted by these toxic fans' behaviors and how it affects these idols as well, I can't help but acknowledge the fact that a lot of these fans think this is normal behavior because of what these companies have allowed and normalized within this industry, and what they continue to allow and normalize as well, because it's only gotten worse as K-pop has grew. But with that said, that is not to say that we cannot still continue to preach that that is not how you should be treating idols, because they are human beings like you and me. I just want to make sure to remind people that this is not just a toxic fan or fan issue. This is also an internal issue within the industry itself. So for everyone trying to constantly compare their favorite company or CEO to HYBE labels because of this issue, I promise you, all of those companies and CEOs are doing the exact same thing, if not worse. This, and exactly what Seungkwan was talking about in his message, is what fans have been talking about for the longest and what plenty of idols have been screaming about for years. And to have to read these words again from another idol because things have only gotten worse is absolutely heartbreaking. I'm so glad he spoke up, and the fact that he had the courage and strength to type this out so thoughtfully means so much to not only the fans, but all of the idols who feel like they can't speak up for themselves. This has been the year of clarity. This is the year of not just conversation, but action. Idols' voices will be heard. No one should have to go through what they go through. No one should be treated like how they are treated. And I'll say it time and time again. Just because this is how the industry has always been doesn't make it right and doesn't mean it can't change. And constantly giving that excuse is quite literally deflecting from the point of this conversation. And these are the same people who believe that these things will never change. You cannot constantly throw around the phrases, "This is how the industry has always been. Oh, things will never change. It's always been like this," but also never try to take action to actually change anything. An issue in the industry or among your favorite group or idol will arise, and companies will start shoving a shiny new song, new merch, or a new tour announcement in our face to distract us, and so easily will some of us just forget the issue at hand. We are the reason why a lot of boycotts end up not working. Not because they can't, but because we don't allow them to. We're not patient enough. A lot of us give up before they even start by pushing out negativity like, well, things will never change anyway, or causing other fans to crowd around other excuses. But in reality, a lot of us don't realize we're giving these companies exactly what they want. They don't want us to think clearly. They don't want us to think with empathy. They want us to give up. They want us to feel like there's no hope. And if that's how we as fans feel, imagine how idols must feel. They're in an industry that feeds off their hard work, insecurities, pain, vulnerability, innocence, strength, talent, and so much more. These companies never stop to think about how they must feel. They never stop to remember that they are human beings, not machines. And if you think these companies manipulate us with media play, just think about how much idols are being manipulated and taken advantage of within their own companies, having their fears and anxiety shoved back in their faces so that they feel like they can never leave or speak up. Idols are humans too, and like you and me, they have limits. These companies and CEOs are being exposed slowly but surely, and thank goodness for that. I'm personally sick and tired of seeing these companies constantly get their way. and seeing as Seungkwan had to literally stay quiet as one of his members was being severely bullied online because his private relationship was violated and outed, and his girlfriend was being attacked as well, while the company, instead of protecting him, was conversing behind closed doors whether or not Joshua was profitable anymore. And also the fact he lost one of his best friends and is and will forever be affected by Moonbin's passing. This message holds even more meaning than it already does. No one should have to push themselves past their limit for a job, or they have to keep pushing through their pain for a job. It's not worth it. Nothing matters more than your life. Nothing comes close. And these sick companies should not have the power to cut a life short because they only view these idols as disposable pieces in their business. Companies treat idols like machines. They dress them up, push them around, and control them. They treat them like they're not flesh and blood, with fragile minds and bodies, as if they can just keep going non-stop with no rest. As if their emotions and feelings don't matter at all. That is, until the company views it as use for their own greedy profit. This is such a depressing industry, to the point where they care so much about money that they could quite literally sit there, let an idol train, work hard to debut in their group, and then decide to remove them because that was how it was planned to happen, or because they no longer view them as a necessity. These companies have way too much power. And like I've said in so many videos, I don't think that fans and now idols realize how much power that we can take back if we just become brave enough and start pushing for action. We as fans are the ones they are promoting to. They are pushing to us to make money for them because they do not exist without us. Idols don't even exist without us, and companies know this. A lot of things can change when you start tampering with their stocks and their revenue. Imagine if fans and idols work together against these companies, especially these bigger groups. The way all of us could literally change this industry so much if we really followed through with it. We have the power to change things for the better. If toxic fans can go in there and scream for what they want, so can we. But we have to all be on one accord. We are stronger in numbers. But that's the thing about boycotts and movements. Whenever it comes to issues within society, governments, and industries, there's always the issue that not enough people can stop and agree on one thing together. I think that this Rise boycott has been one of the few moments where a good amount of fans and non-K-pop fans actually band together for the better, and actually might have just made a change or is starting to make a change. And with that said, please continue with the Rise boycott. And boycott Hybe labels as well. We can stop and conversate all day about all the things that Hybe is doing wrong within their company, but if we don't actually stop and do something about it, Hybe is just gonna continue on as if nothing happened. They don't care about you voicing your opinions that we hate how they're treating their artists. They care whenever these views starts affecting how we interact with the content that they're giving us. And another thing that this issue has shown us is that these companies most definitely pay attention. They know what we're saying online. They just do not care enough to sit there and actually take what we're saying into consideration, because we can again talk badly about the company all we want, but if we're still supporting the company, we're still giving them money, they could care less about what's being said. I wish K-pop was just something that we could enjoy. I wish it was something that idols themselves could enjoy without having to feel like they have to constantly play this character that is completely different than who they really are. But the one thing I am very happy about is that fans are no longer ignorant to all the issues within this industry. And I'm also glad that there are idols who realize that this is not how they should be treated. I'm glad we're all speaking up and using our voices. No one gets to dictate what you do with your life, with your body, your mind. It is time to change. It is time to stop letting these companies bully idols and bully fans and push us around as if we are not the main things keeping them afloat. If companies think it's okay to abuse the people who are under them, then my goodness, they have another thing coming. Abusing, bullying, manipulating the people who work for you and bring you money is the absolute stupidest thing you could do. A lot more idols are starting to speak up nowadays, and it's been amazing and such a breath of fresh air to see. But that is all for this video. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Bye bye!